Was will der? Ich habe mich um meinen Knappen gekümmert. Ich habe mich um meinen Mann gekümmert. Das war meine. Er gehört mehr, also er dient mehr. Also darf ich mich als Lord Ethan um ihn kümmern. Er hat ihn zum Mur geschickt als Bestrafung. Was will der? Unhöflich.
Lady Forrester.
You bellow like a wounded boar, Lord Whitehill. Have you forgotten your manners?
I mean no disrespect to you, my lady, considering your losses and all. But this is not over.
It's over when my son says it is.
This is over, Lord Whitehill.
Ethan is Lord of Ironrath now. By rights, his word is law here. If that displeases you, then I trust you can find the door.
That lad may be lord of this house, but Lord Bolton will have the final say. I'll send him a raven letting him know a Forrester man killed one of his own. That the new Lord Forrester lied to my face and denied me my justice. Then we'll see whose word is law.
Do as you like, Lord Whitehill.
Piss auf euch. Ich mag ihn mal gar nicht, die Typen.
I was wrong about your son, my lady. He stood up to him like a true lord.
You were brave, my son. But you'll need to be braver still when Ramsay Snow arrives to see you bend the knee. Prepare a raven. We need to send word to Mira in King's Landing at once. Your sister can help us. Although just a handmaiden, she has Marjorie Tyrell's favor. And Lady Marjorie's betrothal to the king may be enough to keep the Boltons at bay. If it's presented to her as it should be.
Eisenholz zu, war ja klar. Was ist da drin? Oh. Geschnitzte Eisenholzbaum.
Ethan made this for me.
Was? Rosengartenbursche. Heftig
It was
wachsen.
very kind of Lady Marjorie to give this to me. It once belonged to Lady 𝓖𝓼𝓻𝓛.
Oh. Dunkische Münze.
Asher sent me this coin to remember him. What a strange place, Essos.
Unfertiger Brief.
Father, much excitement here in King's Landing for the coming wedding. Lady Marjorie has proven to be quite popular throughout the city. I do wish you and Mother could come, although I know it would be impossible under the circumstances. I miss all of you, and I look forward to the day you can.
Ja, het kan leider niet meer goed. Ik denk beslist een keer vrij. Dus stop, das hat das Buch geil.
Wonders Made by Man by 𝓲𝓲𝓻𝓸𝓷𝓮𝓼. A gift from Roderick.
Tinama.
I hope to see them all someday.
Fenster.
King's Landing. I wonder if it's sunny at Ironrath today.
Stimmt, das haben wir gar nicht gefragt. Zeitzone technisch. Ich schaue gerade hinter mir, also hinter euch, an die Karte von Westeros und Essos. Haben die alle die gleiche Zeitzone? Habe ich mich nie gefragt.
It troubles me to even ask this of you, but you must appeal to Lady Marjorie to intervene on our behalf. She is our best hope, and can be a powerful ally. especially now when your family so desperately needs her help.
Jetzt ist es noch etwas. Hey, komm mal ja. Oh.
Oh, sorry, milady. I didn't mean to disturb you. I can come back later if you'd like.
Jetzt?
No, it's fine. Come in.
Hängt da Kohle?
Begging your pardon, milady, but you all right? If you don't mind my asking, you seem rather upset.
I'm just worried about my family.
Ah, letter from home, is it?
It's kind of you to ask.
Of course, milady. You've always been kind to me.
Please hurry if you can. Lady Marjorie will be here any minute.
Of course, milady.
Wie viel Kohle oder was ist es?
You work for Lady Marjorie? I may be wrong, but it seems like you do.
I'm her handmaiden.
That's what I thought. I've seen you with her before. You seem like good friends. I saw Lady Marjorie just this morning, outside the Royal Sept, talking to Queen Cersei.
Cersei?
So.
They appeared to be having some sort of disagreement. I couldn't hear much, but...
What did they say?
I couldn't make out much, but I know they were talking about the Starks and House Forrester.
House Forrester?
Das hätte
I
ich
hope you're not
wahrscheinlich
in any
nicht
kind of
erzählt.
trouble.
Hätte ich ihm
But
nicht
I thought you
ehrlich
ought to know.
gesagt.
Most people don't tend to notice a call boy. Not in King's Landing, with so many lords and ladies about. You see and hear all sorts of things when people don't even know you're there.
Ja,
Good night, milady.
gute Nacht.
Lady Marjorie, you're early.
I was hoping there would be time for us to talk. Come, there's something we must discuss.
Ja, die Serie immer auf Deutsch gelassen. Das heißt, ich habe die deutsche Synchronsprecher also geschaut. Aber ich meine mit zu Ende,
From
dass
the
ich
day
mal
you
irgendwo
arrived
gelesen
in
habe, dass das die
Highgarden, I thought of you
Original
more as a friend than as my handmaiden.
die Originalsprecher sind.
Thank you, my lady.
Oder ich
And you
gesprochen
know
habe.
how I feel about what's happened to your family. I feel your pain as if it were my...
Also, dass sie die. Jetzt, ich mache lieber Pause, kann ich selber lesen. Dass sie die Mari ist, die eben dann für das Game eingesprochen hat. So wie bei, ich glaube, Julian Lannister hat, glaube ich, auch glaub ich, eingesprochen.
my own. What you've suffered is beyond imagining. And your poor family as well.
I need your help, my lady.
Of course, and I will help you in any way I can. But there's another matter we must attend to first. You must understand there are limits to what I can say, especially here in King's Landing, now that I am to be queen. To have a handmaiden from the north whose family fought for
Oh
Robb Stark.
Gott!
It raises questions at a time I can least afford. Cersei herself cornered me this morning outside the Royal Sept. She mentioned the northern girl in my service, and she painted you a traitor. She was very pleased with herself.
How did you respond?
I told her you are one of my most trusted handmaidens, that you can hardly be blamed for the actions of your father and brother. Nonetheless,
Ja, klar,
she
sehr,
demands
sehr.
an audience. She wants an apology of some sort, for what I don't know, but she's waiting for us now, and I promised I would bring you to her. I wouldn't ask this of you if it were not important. I cannot afford any conflict with Cersei with the wedding so near.
I'll do as you ask, my lady.
I knew I could trust you. Humor her. Tell her what she wants to hear.
Yep. En alles machen wir, ne?
See if
Hilft
the
auch
Queen
uns.
Regent is ready to receive us. You'll be fine. I know you will. You may feel one thing, but you must say another.
Das ist jetzt einfach für mich. Ich kann einfach natürlich klicken. Damit sie zu der Entscheidung führt, aber ich versuche es natürlich authentisch zu spielen, mehr sie hineinzuversetzen und das zu sagen, was ich denke, dass sie sagen würde.
You can do this.
Wir werden natürlich versuchen, sie gut möglichst anzulügen, wenn die Option bietet.
Ah, Lady Marjorie. Aren't you looking lovely this evening?
Lord Tyrion. Your Grace? With your permission, allow me to introduce Lady Mira of House Forrester.
I am honored, Your Grace.
Yet not honored enough to kneel, I see.
House Forrester is a northern house loyal to the king.
Are they?
I beg your pardon, Your Grace.
I wasn't talking to you. I want to hear from the girl. Is your family loyal to the king?
Ja.
Perhaps you should ask the new Lord Forrester.
He's not here, is he? She is.
Joffrey is the one true king, Your Grace.
And yet, for centuries the Forresters have been loyal bannermen to House Stark. A house of traitors.
They were the Wardens of the North. We all served at the pleasure of the king.
Clever girl.
Perhaps too clever for her own good.
The girl did name Joffrey as the one true king.
Is your house willing to swear fealty to your new liege lord, Roose Bolton?
He is the Warden of the North, Your Grace.
He is. And I the Queen Regent and Tyrion the Master of Coin.
The girl has a remarkable talent for answering questions while in fact saying nothing at all.
Is dat...
Old allegiances are not easily abandoned. But now that the war is over, we must look to rebuild and forge new alliances. There are ships and shields to be built, and Joffrey will need a steady supply of ironwood for his armies. I'm told there are others who would happily serve that purpose, but I trust we can rely on House Forrester.
Forster Ironwood does seem rather unique.
Yes, Your Grace.
It would be a shame to see it fall into the hands of another house. I imagine you'd do almost anything to prevent that from happening, wouldn't you? Ask any Lannister, and they'd do whatever was necessary to save Casterly Rock. It would be unfortunate to see another house lay claim to what's yours.
Yes, Your Grace. I would do anything.
I see.
What would you have the girl do, Cersei? It's not as if she fought beside the Starks, wielding a battle axe for the Northern Army.
It raises an interesting question, I suppose. Can we truly blame those who end up on the wrong side of the war? Our dear Marjorie here was betrothed to Renly Baratheon on the false assumption that he would one day rule the Seven Kingdoms. Can we fault her for her mistake? Should she be held accountable?
Ik vind het nee.
I'm sure she regrets it.
Perhaps. Perhaps not.
If there's a point to this, I hope you find it quickly.
Loyalty can be such a hard thing to define. This city alone is filled with all sorts of ambitious opportunists looking to reinvent themselves, pretending to be something they're not. Who knows what lurks within their hearts? You are a girl from the north, here in service to Lady Marjorie. One can only assume her interests are yours. Yet loyalty to a king, that must be absolute, beyond question. And if your loyalties were to become conflicted between your king and the very person whom you serve, what would you do then?
I'm sure she would...
Let the girl answer the question.
I would be true to the king, Your Grace.
Well said. I was beginning to worry you didn't have your priorities straight.
Also, Margit, du kannst mir das nicht
She
übel nehmen.
is a threat to the crown.
Also, Margit, wenn du mit diesem Satz jetzt übel nimmst, dann bin ich also wirklich böse. Du hast gesehen, ich soll alles sagen, um Cersei zu gefallen.
Isn't she? The most dangerous handmaiden in all of King's Landing.
My sense is this girl will say almost anything to get what she wants. Which is not very encouraging. I'd like a word with you, if I may.
Of course, Your Grace.
Jetzt ist Mari auch noch böse auf uns, ernsthaft. Ich habe doch meine Loyalität ihr gegenüber schon erzählt. Draussen.
I'll walk you out. This may come as a surprise, but I met your father once, at the tourney at Lannisport. Even then he didn't trust Roose Bolton. We only spoke briefly, but your father struck me as an honorable man. You have my condolences for his loss. These would be trying times for your family, even under the best of circumstances.
Thank you, Lord Tyrion. That's very kind of you to say.
That certainly took courage. To so publicly declare your loyalty to Joffrey for all to hear. Poor Lady Margaery was humiliated, although Cersei seemed quite pleased. It was quite the first impression. I, of course, found it all highly entertaining.
I did it for Lady Margaery.
Rather odd, if that's what she asked of you. But I'm sure she has your best interests at heart. My sister and I have our differences. She takes great pleasure in her little charades. I take mine in thwarting them. We must find our amusements where we can. She threatened to give your ironwood to another house. It is the Master of Coin who decides such matters. The crown needs boats. Boats need wood, and I speak for the crown in this regard, not her.
You can help my family.
I suppose the crown could be persuaded to secure ironwood from House Forrester. Lady Margaery might not look favorably on such an alliance, and it would infuriate Cersei. Although what would be amusing for me might prove rather dangerous for you and your house. Are you willing to risk that? It may be far too dangerous. In fact, forget I even suggested such a thing.
It's a risk I'm willing to take, Lord Tyrion. Please.
You are a brave girl, aren't you? I'll consider it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I promised Sansa I would join her for dinner tonight. 3 beautiful bottles of Dornish wine await my arrival. The mere thought of them makes me thirsty already.
Scheiße!
Just be careful. This is not the North. King's Landing can be a nest of vipers to the uninitiated.
Ich versuche natürlich zu lesen, was sagt, wenn ich mich entscheiden muss. Und oh Gott. Wenn er alles auf Deutsch sagen, könnte ich mich viel besser entscheiden. Oder wäre mir das Englisch besser?
Mira, I was worried. How was it? Cersei has a way of looking at you as though you're nothing.
It didn't go very well.
I'm sorry. Cersei is known for being rather difficult. But at least it's over now.
Wahrscheinlich nicht.
Lady Margaery has spent the entire day working on seating arrangements for the wedding. Of course, you and I are seated way at the back, here with the 4th cousins and the 9th-born sons. Ah, Sir Jaime. I wouldn't mind tarnishing that white cloak of his.
Sarah!
What? It's true. And Oberyn Martell, the Red Viper. I'm told he has a paramour, which I doubt is Dornish for wife.
Put it back.
We're just having a bit of fun. It's probably for the best. I've heard he's a bit perverse. Perhaps Lady Marjorie could make the right introductions. Who knows? We might meet our future husbands. Although, marrying a king, I can only imagine what that would be like. Would you marry Joffrey if it meant you'd become queen? He does have a certain look about him, and he's always treated Lady Marjorie well. Which is more than you can say for his mother.
I'd marry anyone if it helped my family.
Right. Of course. Well, I would marry him. Imagine the power you would have as Queen of the Seven Kingdoms. I might even allow you to be my handmaiden. Let's see, who else should we marry off? Brienne of Tarth and Tyrion Lannister. What a perfect match! Sir Bronn and...
What are you doing?
Ik mag er gar niet.
Well,
I tried to move them back, my lady.
this is not a game. It's a battle plan. Allies and enemies can be made with every move. Yet they say it is men who are powerful.
Nee, die
The
waar macht
Queen
is
was
vrouwen.
pleased by your display, Mirror. I'm just glad it's over.
Kan je nou niet zeggen, dat is mijn
King's
eerder.
Landing can be exhausting sometimes. There's always someone to please or some perceived slight to smooth over. I fear it will only get worse when I am queen.
Once they know your true heart, the lords and ladies will have no choice but to love you.
Do you agree?
Once you are queen, the lords and ladies will do their best to please you.
You learn very quickly. Your words to Cersei were brave, but I know you must fear what the Boltons might do to your family.
Ja.
I do appreciate your willingness to appease her, as difficult as it may have been.
Thank you, my lady. There's been something on my mind. Something important. I did have a favor to ask of you in return.
Whatever you wish to say, you can say it in front of Sarah. There are no secrets between us.
It's about my family.
I trust her.
Kunt u het?
Go on. Ask.
Forgive me, my lady. I wouldn't otherwise ask this of you, but my mother insisted. It's about my family.
Ramsay Snow. What would you have me do?
My mother fears our family will suffer if Ramsay is left to do as he likes. She thought, if a raven could be sent to the Boltons to let them know House Forrester has the protection of the crown. I know it's a lot to ask of you, and I wouldn't otherwise, but she insisted.
That is no small request, especially now.
I
Ja,
know,
toch,
my
voor mij
lady,
zou ik komen.
and I wouldn't ask this of you otherwise. But my mother has left me no choice. She insisted.
Joffrey knows only too well your family fought for the Starks, and now you would have me ask him to intervene. Is the situation that dire?
You can't, my lady. King Joffrey won't like it. Just think how he turned on Lady Sansa.
Please, Lady Marjorie, I beg of you. I fear for my family's safety.
I don't know, Mirror. If Cersei were to find out...
Don't let the Queen bully you. You have power over him, Lady Marjorie, as no one else does. Not even his mother. Ramsay Snow will arrive at Ironrath within the week. I would never ask this of you if it weren't so urgent.
God.
Very well. I'll make your request, but I cannot promise anything.
Meer
Thank
had je
you,
nog
my
niet.
lady. I will send a raven to my family at once.
So, was suchst du die beiden jetzt noch? Oh, okay, das haben wir nicht erfahren. Oswald! Oh Gott, müssen wir kämpfen? Haben wir überhaupt das Schwert? Machst du gut, Geralt.
7 Hells.
Let's play a little game, shall we? Did you know my ancestors wore the skins of their enemies as a coat? Not my best work, unfortunately. I suppose I have fallen out of practice. But he didn't make it easy, what with all that bloody noise.
Like a droning cat. I thought he'd never stop.
As my father likes to say, a naked man holds few secrets. But the flayed man holds none.
Pity he didn't know your father was the Warden of the North.
He does now. How much further is it to these Forresters?
A day, my lord. 2 at most.
What was that?
My lord?
Shh! Listen. There. Hear that? I know I heard something. Never mind. We've wasted enough time already.
Genau, das habe ich nämlich gedacht, dass wenn wir uns nicht bewegen, dass es irgendwann aufgeht. Wenn wir jetzt einfach Geräusch gemacht haben und weggelaufen haben, dann hat es uns gefangen. Oh Gott. Oh, wie das... Wenn ich ihn wäre, wie das wirklich so durchgehalten hat, weiß ich zwar selber nicht. Okay. Kennt doch schon mal gut an, die Geschichte, weißt du es?